Rightio team, I don't know how well you can hear me, if at all, but today we are playing with this, the BMW CE04, and holy shit is it fast. Let's hang in here. We're right next to the harbour bridge, hopefully you can hear me. So this is the CE04, 28 grand's worth of BMW electric machinery. The battery comes from an iX model, the motor from a Mini apparently. And yeah, it is BMW's electric maxi scooter. So we are just having a quick blast today, getting some nice photos hopefully. And not gonna lie, it's got some cool features. So under the seat here you have, helps if I turn it on, nice storage box, can fit a helmet. Not my helmet currently, but yep. So over to the right here we have the charging port, so I'll cover that up. And over here we have wireless charging for your mobile device. There's also a USB-C port in there, but I've got the iPhone in there because I need to charge it up. But all in all, I am very impressed with this machine. About 100k, 130k a range. It is a city machine, it's not for touring on. But initial impressions are very good. So, I've exhausted this photo location, so we're going to go over there somewhere and hopefully find somewhere to get some nicer pictures. So let's go for a ride. Okie dokie team, so we are on board the BMW CE04. Not gonna lie, I was expecting to ride a G310R today, so I'm not the most prepared on this bike. I know the price, I know a couple of things about it, and I know how to turn it on. So, nice big TFT dash there. So to turn this thing on, you have to have the back brake, which is down there, front brake, and then thumb the starter. And then she's ready to go. So let's go. Oh man, that takes some getting used to. So it's got multiple rider modes, as you can probably tell. This is currently in dynamic mode, which I am assured is the most fun mode, but it also gives you the most dynamic braking. So most engine braking comes off this, and it will basically mean you don't have to use the brakes. I barely touched those Jaguar brakes at all. So it's interesting, to say the least. It's also got a comfort seat, this press demo. And it's in the cool colour with the orange little screen there, but I don't know what the orange little screen does really. It's not really a windscreen, or at least I can't tell if it does anything windscreeny. But yeah, incredibly easy to ride this thing. You just jump on it and away you go. Really long wheelbase though, so because its battery comes from a car and its motor comes from a car, it's a little bit different from your conventional maxi scooter. Better not go hooning around next to the cop shop. But one of the ways this thing is quite different from what I anticipated is just the amount of speed this thing can put on. Holy crap, it is quick. Like, I think if it didn't have such a long wheelbase, it would wheelie. It just wants to go. So, no brakes there. No brakes at all. And finally have to use the brakes because there was a car coming. It's really impressive, this machine. Price is a bit steep for most of us mere mortals, especially on a commuter. So $28,000 here in New Zealand. in New Zealand. So that's not something that everyone can afford. It's not going to be a mass market motorcycle, I don't think. But for pottering around, as an alternative to other maxi scooters, I think it's kind of cool. One thing I have noticed though, suspension, yeah, it does tend to blow through the stroke, it seems. Not amazing at these bumpy roads. But yeah, man, this it moves quick. And it's got a lot of smart design choices. So the only other real electric motorcycle I have much experience with is the Harley Livewire. And for that you had to lift the seat up to charge it, where you've just got a handy charging port right here on this. Okay, can I get around the corner? You do tend to notice the long wheelbase when you're trying to do a tight corner. But once you start doing more easy-going stuff, yeah, it's quite lovely. Feels nice and stable. All the weight on this thing is down low, so it's I think they call it a skateboard platform. So the weight is all, the battery and the wheels are all beneath my feet basically, and yeah, the motor from a Mini apparently sits right behind the rider down low. So one of the cool things this thing comes with, because you do pay for it, heated grips and heated seat as standard, which is nice, though not on a warm spring day like today. I have those turned off, obviously. Interesting. The master cylinders are bi-brake, not actual Brembo, and the brakes themselves are... Crikey, what's going on there? The brakes themselves are from J-Juan, and I'm a big fan of those guys. They make some really nice feeling brakes. These seem to be no exception. Surprisingly, it's not taken a lot of effort to get used to the fact that I'm on a scooter, and an electric one at that. I think that's probably one of the easier things of uptake for an electric scooter. There's not a lot different about the controls. Oops, I want to be over here. There's not much different about the controls compared to a regular scooter. So brake, rear brake on the left, front brake on the right, throttle, on button. And can you change mode on the fly? Eco mode, rain mode, road mode, and dynamic. Yep, you can. Alrighty, we are in the domain of the electric scooter. We're in the Big Smoke. Yep, there, Sky Tower. And just cruising around, this makes a lot of sense in the city. So barely have to touch the brakes, which has kind of taken some getting used to. But it's so quiet and stealthy, which pros and cons obviously, but I like to think I'm an optimist. But worried about big black Audis keep wiping me out, that's for sure. Literally, I'm starting to see maxi scooters everywhere now I'm riding this. It's like all of a sudden you're riding a maxi scooter and they're everywhere. So, things I've learnt so far about this scooter. It is stupid quick. Definitely much faster than I expected. On the motorway, does alright. As you'd expect with an electric bike, you do start watching the range to empty start to go down a wee bit quick. Heated seat is nice on my tush. A fan of the heated seat. And the long wheelbase isn't too much of an issue at all, really. But here we go, we're just slowing down. That's all on regenerative braking then. So I'm just mooching around the city till I find something that looks vaguely nice and pretty and contrasting to get some photos of this, because it's a grey old day and that makes it really tricky to get photos of grey motorbikes. Being a wee bit cheeky here, there we go.